Most learned Professor, Sir. Durbel nat Jutas. Nobody could be happier to find success in this regard than I am. The plan has been made and the sketch looks set to foretell progress. But I envisage that I will have to defer this subject for some considerable time. That was the artist Erik Johan Löfgren's report on his progress, in a letter to Professor Fredrik Sungneus. The chair of the Finnish Art Society and one of Finland's most prominent cultural figures had suggested to Löfgren a subject linked to the Finnish War, a painting of the victorious General Durbel. History painting was the most prestigious genre in the visual art of the mid-19th century. The ideal of the nation-state spread across Europe, and in Finland too. Making depictions of history was seen as part of the national mission. The most significant events of the past were to be consigned to canvas, and the most important people immortalized in heroic portraits. Artists were actively directed to paint works on historical subjects. Löfgren, who studied at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Stockholm, was one of the early protégés of the Finnish Art Society, and much was expected of him. He worked on the painting of Battle of Jutas for years, but this portrayal of Lieutenant General Durbel was never completed. According to his contemporaries, Löfgren was highly gifted, but was by temperament slow and dreamy. He was interested in quite different subjects. In Paris, commissioned by the patron of the arts, Herman Hallonblad, and encouraged by Fredrik Sungneus, Löfgren painted a depiction of some unhappy lovers. It was to be his most highly praised work on a historical theme. The painting shows an episode from the 16th century Sweden-Finland. These were turbulent times. The King of Sweden, Erik XIV, and Karin Månsdotter have fled the royal palace to take refuge in the forests of Uppsala. The monarch, who has been accused of murdering his enemies, rests his head on his wife's lap. The defenseless position of the king's head communicates the severe disruption of his sanity, but also the trust between the spouses. It is said that Karin was the only one who could calm her distressed husband. Karin Månsdotter has turned her face, framed by the heart-shaped headdress, towards the light. The couple's hands form an unusual arrangement around the king's head, emphasizing the humanity of the scene, and at the same time, the king's incapacitated state. This was not how the sovereigns were usually depicted. The couple's shared journey was a stormy one, the greater part of it spent in prison. Karin Månsdotter was to reign as queen for only 87 days. In the painting, the role of Karin was played by a professional Parisian model, with the artist basing the queen's features on the blonde, blue-eyed original. The almost saintly figure has been compared to the Madonnas of the Italian Guido Reni, who lived in the 16th century. After 2 years' work, in the spring of 1864, the painting was shown in Paris. Fredrik Sungneus and other gatekeepers of Finnish art, who had hoped for heroic portraits, unanimously praised the refined treatment of the subject.